Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Jennifer Diamond. I'm a certified plant-based nutrition coach, and through the power of whole food plant-based eating, I was able to get my health back, and I know it can help you too. I am so excited about today's episode because we have two of my favorite people joining us. We have Kathy Hester and Cheryl Purser again coming in. And today we're going to be talking all about Kathy's brand new ebook, Potions and Powders. And it's filled with recipes and ideas for creating your own plant-based spice mixes and blends and magical kitchen concoctions that make it easy to add flavor and nourishment to your meals. So get ready because you're going to love this conversation. And as always, if you're joining us live, hop into the chat and say hello to us. Ask Kathy or I any questions that you'd like. And if you want, let us know where you're watching from. I'd also like to know, have you tried any of Kathy's amazing recipes before? Let us know. So hello, welcome Kathy and Cheryl. I'm really excited to have you guys back.
Oh, I'm always excited, especially to share this fun stuff with everyone. So Potions and Powders is a book I've wanted to write for a really long time. And there are over 170 recipes in there. I think it's closer to 180, but it's somewhere thereabouts. And almost all of them are pretty easy to make. And some of them may be things that you want to buy and you can't find, or maybe you can't find with your allergy or dietary limitation, like vegan fish sauce. Or actually, one of the things I'm very excited about is my soy-free, no salt soy sauce substitute. And I have it in a powder form, so you can put it in soup mixes or ramen mixes. And I have a liquid version as well. Now, because it doesn't have salt, oil, or a lot of things in it, it doesn't last a long time, but I talk about that in there. But that was something Chef AJ used to ask me for all the time.
Is that something that, and you could get into it later, but just, is that something that you can freeze to preserve it a little bit?
Absolutely. Almost everything you can freeze. So typically, if there's something you can actually freeze non-dairy milk. You can freeze pulp. So let's say, because we're going to be using some of my okara here, and we'll talk about that a little bit. If I needed to make 4 cups of okara, which means I'd make 4 batches of soy milk, I could freeze some of that soy milk for later, because there's just 2 of us, and unless I'm teaching a class that uses 4 cups, or not 4 cups, but 4, whatever those are, 16 cups. Do you know what 4 cups makes a what?
Yes, it does. 16 ounces.
4 cups
is it a quart?
Oh, I know what you're talking. Yes, it is a quart. It is a quart. We're really good math people here today. But no, and if we're wrong, then tell us in the chat.
Right, exactly. I would ask our friend over there, our computer listener, but then all of yours will answer too.
Well, I do want to take a second and just check the chat, because we've got some people in here. I just want to welcome everybody. Hi, Jill. She said, I'm waiting patiently. Hi, Jennifer and Todd and Kathy. Good to have you here. Apple 369 is, hi, everyone. I'm very excited to see Kathy and all of you, of course. And we have Lydia Richardson. Hi, everyone. Good to be here with all of you today. I'd like to also welcome M. Pennington 27. Hi, everyone. Hi, Marilyn. And we also have Elizabeth Markowitz, 4995.
Oh, yay. We actually got to see her a couple of days ago.
Oh, you did? She says, hey, yeah, great to see you. Yeah. When did you see her?
In Orlando. So we were in Florida, and then we were half the time we were visiting Cheryl's parents, and half the time we went on a quick Halloween cruise.
Oh my gosh, that sounds incredibly fun. Well, she's here with us today. And then we also have whole food plant-based nut Lisa. Good afternoon from Canada. And Healthy Eating Life. Hello. And my goodness, we have Mark Jones, 7397. Hello from Greenville, South Carolina. This is wonderful. Dolores Dolores K 9412. Sorry about that. Hello from Midland, Michigan. Wow.
Ooh.
And we have let's see, Tanya. Whoops, where did that go? Oh, and so many other people. And we're so happy you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're all excited to hear from you, Kathy. And I know you mentioned how many recipes are in this incredible ebook. I think I saw, wasn't it about like 126 pages of deliciousness, something like that.
Yeah, and then the thing is like I had to arrange this differently. I'm used to doing a picture and a recipe, a picture and a recipe. And I'm like, nobody needs a picture and a recipe for spice blend. So we've got things, some are a little more crowded than before, but we tried to make it where you can still read it and use it well and throw in some pictures here or there. And you can still print it out. And actually I meant to grab this. So I was thinking of a different way because you can get it spiral bound. Or actually, I had it somewhere. Oh, I had it over here.
Which I think is a really cool thing. This is just a couple of pages. I did not print the whole thing out. Like, you look at yours. Those are magnificent.
And the cool part about this is it costs $5 to get the covers.
$6 if you want them to rush.
Yeah. And they give you like a clear cover. Oh, clear cover. Can sort of see it now.
Yes, definitely can see it, and that nice back, and that's great. So $5, that's if you print it yourself, or?
Yes.
Okay.
If you try to print it there, they're going to charge you a lot per page because and it's just much better. But the cheapest place to print it, if you don't have a printer, is probably your local library.
Oh, that's really a good tip. That's a good
favor with a friend.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, this is the cover of the new book here, Potions and Powders. I love the frog on the front. And Whole Food Plant-Based Kitchen Witchery by Kathy Hester. And I printed out just a couple because I was going to, share in the fun with you. And a couple of these, they do have like 2 on a page. And so I see what you mean. But my goodness, what an amazing, work that you've put together. I was so excited. I couldn't just pick one or two. I kept going, how about this? I'm going to do this and this and this. So I'm excited to share and learn from you.
Oh, I think it's great. And you and I talked on the phone a little bit earlier today. So I'll just share that with everybody else a little bit, in that one of the things that I love about this, while I'm going to make the witching sauce along with her a little bit differently, and almost everything can be done differently. Just so, like, if you can't have salt because of a health issue, none of them have oil in them, but some do have salt or salt substitute, either to taste or to an amount. Most of them are to taste. But like, I have a couple of salt substitutes. I have my plain salt substitute, which I put in, even though you should be able to recite it if you've ever watched me, because every time I'm like, 1 tablespoon onion powder, 1 tablespoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon ground celery seed mixed up together. So my gift to you. Right. And then I have another one that's more complicated and has more flavors into it. So if you're SOS, you can use the things in this book. There are a couple of things that use nuts, but I have alternatives for that. Most things don't. Really.
Yeah. And that's something that you had mentioned to me. Like, it's okay if you are missing something, that you were going to, teach us about different things that you might be able to substitute if you didn't have them. And I ran into that with one of the recipes. And so when we get to it, I certainly will ask you.
Absolutely. And if you have the book and you guys have questions, you can always either email me, Kathy Hester at Gmail. Quicker right now is to email support@Healthy Slow Cooking, and then Cheryl kind of cues them up for me, and then I go through everything. But if you let's say you hate rosemary. I have a tester who hates rosemary. You get to leave it out. So your Italian spice blend can be one that you like. You can make it spicier, make it more mild. There's just so many different ways you can do it. The other thing, so we're making things that fit our tastes and our dietary limitations. It's significantly cheaper than buying pre-made spice mixes or gravy mixes or bouillon mixes. And that's one of the things. It does use quite a bit of oats. I do have a mushroom gravy that uses those potato flakes, dehydrated potato flakes that you can use to make mashed potatoes. If you are allergic or can't use oats, you could probably use that for any of the dry mixes.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I
Yeah.
like that. What about quinoa flakes? I know sometimes I use that, but then I get concerned about like that the flavor will be stronger. I like what you're talking about with the potato flakes. That won't have a distinct, stronger flavor.
Someone else actually emailed me about quinoa flakes, and I think they would work. I think I have some, but I haven't really put it together to see if the taste comes out a lot. But maybe I'll do that this week or next week on a live, and that way we can just test it out. But in general, I will tell you right now, if it's the only thing I had, I would use it. And then what you'd have to do if you were doing, because I know you're going to make the bouillon or you've made the bouillon, is then at that point, because you can taste it, it's a dry mix. And if you feel like you're tasting more quinoa than nutritional yeast or the herbiness that's in there, then I would just add more of that so the important thing is really tasting it, seeing how it sets with you. Because I've been trying to teach Cheryl a little more about, because she's like, well, I don't know. How will I know? I'm like, does it make you happy?
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Right?
And does it? Cheryl, does it?
Depends on what it is, yeah.
Depending on what it is.
Yeah.
So then you have your answer.
Yeah. And the thing is we're kind of, especially as women, we're kind of women of our age that, we were pretty much taught not to trust our inner instincts as much. I feel like, I know I didn't. And I think that doing this also can be just really helpful to everything else. You start to trust yourself more. You start to be, well, I'll smell, one of the things I do is smell an herb over the soup even.
Works every time.
You can tell you can almost taste it when you smell it, and it'll be yuck or yum. Or, I don't think that's going to do anything.
I do want to touch on that, but I do want to say that, Cheryl, I can hear you, but it is all of a sudden it's pretty low again. So just so you know, but I did hear what you were saying. And as far as trusting our intuition, I feel like there was a lot of do as I say kind of thing, and somebody else knows best for you kind of thing. In the generation growing up, in our generation, in a section even before me. And, I like that you are talking about that now, because outside of just something fun and delicious, I think that also has to do with not only trusting ourselves, but knowing we're so smart. Our bodies, they will tell us what we need to know instead of us getting stuck in our mind, and so thank you for pointing that out. And just just do what makes you happy, and it usually is good.
Right. And I think that's the thing. Like, and everyone thinks that I've just always been like this mad scientist in the kitchen, and I am now. But like when I was a little kid, I'd make my little grilled cheese sandwich out of the children's encyclopedia, if anyone's old enough to remember those. And I would put exactly the number of potato chips on my plate. Like and I was such a recipe follower for so long. And so,
which is funny because you barely follow them at all now.
No, it's because I'm listening to myself. It doesn't mean, like, if I'm learning a new cuisine. So I had a student in Kathy's cooking club who wanted a Korean class, and I haven't really done any Korean cooking. So I did a lot of research for that. Because even if I'm making it vegan, whole food, plant-based, no oil, it's not going to be super authentic, right? There
Right.
may be some condiments I can't use, but I can get those flavors and work with that. And so I try to get that, build up that knowledge base, and then jump off into what's close enough. Like I make Thai curry pastes. I was using miso in a class because most of the people there follow Dr. Greger, who don't do salt but do miso. But in using a thick almond or soy milk with a little bit of coconut extract if you don't eat coconut milk.
Oh, I like
Right.
that. That is great. We do have a question here from Jill Caperton 1568. And her question is, do I need a dehydrator for these recipes in this fantastic book?
And you don't have to have one. So you can do a couple of things. And there's choices. If you have any of my books, you know, there's always been a Staples chapter in every book that I've ever written. So all of my traditionally published stuff. So you could make your own bouillon or buy your own bouillon. So kind of here, you can make your own jalapeno and tomato powder, or you can buy it. I've also put a link to a list in Amazon. And you don't have to buy it in Amazon, but that way all the stuff is in one place. You can pull it up on your phone if you're at a store or something like that. So like sometimes I buy the powders, like tomato powder. Jalapeno powder can be hard for people, but if you have a garden, or like today, I got these jalapenos at Trader Joe's.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
They're
Wow.
huge. They were like
Huge.
39 cents. So I'll probably, and if you have a Breville, I know a lot of people in the whole food plant-based community have a Breville oven air. You can dehydrate the stuff in there. You can dehydrate in your oven. You could just Google that. We're not doing fancy wraps or bread or, you know, like literally we're taking
You're just trying to get the moisture out.
yeah, they have to be very dry for you to pulse them into a powder. But let me see. I think right over here I have some mushroom. Yeah, I have some mushrooms. I'll show you. This is how I do my mushroom powder. And I bought some mushrooms usually at the Asian market. So these, and I'll show you from the top. Oh, maybe. Got it. So these were stems out of that I tore into quarters. So I just pulled the stems out, dehydrated these, made the stuff with that. So this is free, right? Because I used mushrooms for stuff. Or another time, I had some leftover sliced mushrooms I didn't use. So I just dehydrated them. And in fact, I think there's some fancy mushrooms in here. There are. I have. If I have a mushroom and it's not going to get used, I just dehydrate it. These were oyster mushrooms, a little handful. So what will happen, and I pretty much have enough I could do it now. As long as I have about a quarter to a half a cup, then I just throw it in my blender. If you have a spice grinder, but I use the Beast a lot. The Beast is great with spices. I'll just throw them in, powder it up.
I love that.
Yeah, and with tomatoes, tomato powder isn't very expensive. So I think that's a pretty good one. But you can, if you like make cherry tomatoes, if you grow cherry tomatoes, you can dehydrate them as you go. I don't always like cherry tomatoes. So I've done that before. I made them into a powder. It depends on what they are. Marilyn, who I think is on right now, actually cans. She has a big garden. She cans lots and lots of tomatoes. I think she canned like 40 pounds of tomatoes or something.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
So she takes the skins that she takes off, dehydrates them, and blends them up into a powder. So, but again, that's not that you have to, you can also order, and a big bag of powder will come to your house from Amazon. So those are really the only, because I do use a lot of mushroom powder. Mushroom powder you can buy as well. It's not the fancy, super expensive stuff. If you can get shiitake powder, it tends to be more expensive than going to Costco, getting a big thing of mushrooms, chopping them up, and letting them dehydrate.
I've also purchased already dehydrated mushrooms in a big canister at Costco. I know you can get them individual, but it's like once, every once in a while they have them. And I just want to mention that Todd put in the chat what he, found in terms of dehydrating in your oven. And I just want to read it to you and make sure, yes, I have that same one.
Yeah.
It's so great.
And these are great.
Throw them in here.
Yeah, throw them in there and blend them up and you're set. And those are a mix because I have that same one. And you can usually get those in our area around the holiday time. They don't carry them for us year round. So if that's something you're interested, maybe keep a lookout in Costco. But Todd had put in the chat that, to dehydrate in your oven, set it to the lowest setting, which is usually 140 to 170 degrees, or 60 to 76.7 if it's Celsius. And then arrange the food in thin for uniform manner because you'll want it to cook evenly or dehydrate evenly. And then he said bake it for 4 to 10 hours depending on what you're cooking. Would you agree with that, or would you like to change or add to that?
Well, I think that how long it's going to take is how thick it is, how dry or wet it is already. Have you ever left mushrooms in your fridge and they started drying out? Right? There are sometimes, so if they're really fresh and moist, they'll take longer. Another thing to know, if you're dehydrating, especially using a dehydrator, you can't over dehydrate it.
Yes. Okay.
So now if you're in your oven and your temperature is a little higher, you just want to make sure that nothing's getting burned or toasty. And once you've done it once, you'll know that your oven is okay. But that's one thing. I don't worry about it. So like I literally will just toss them in the Breville, or I have like the really cheap white Nesco dehydrator.
Oh yeah,
And
I
you can
used
get,
to have one of those with the circle in the cutout in the middle.
yeah. Somebody gave me one. You can get them a lot on like Free Cycle, at your thrift stores, or on Facebook groups, like trading groups and stuff. Where I live in Durham, North Carolina, we have Bull City shares. So like sometimes if I have had to try a couple of different appliances, I'll then go put some up on there to give away.
I've never seen one of those more than like $10 at the thrift store.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. I know you started to talk about the easy vegan chicken bouillon powder recipe. And you also said that it would be okay to put that recipe in the show notes below the video. So when this live ends, those of you who would like to try it and haven't seen it yet, you can go there to check it out. And I know that Kathy has more wonderful things on her website as well. And I did make it. I also wanted to share that we have this not chicken, vegan, gluten-free, plant-based broth and seasonings that my husband wanted to get. And I was like, oh, it's really high in sodium, but I figured, well, I won't use it. I'll just use vegetable broth. But he wanted to get this. And we have not used any of it. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I just want to tell you what the ingredients is. The ingredients is, the first one is sea salt, and the serving size is a half a cube. A half a cube is going to have 800 milligrams of sodium. That's a lot of sodium, guys. And then it says it's got organic shea butter. It's got yeast extract, organic maltodextrin, organic cane sugar, organic garlic, and organic mace, which I don't even know what that is.
Powder. It's a spice.
It's a spice. So that is totally different than the recipe that you gave me in this beautiful book. And I got to tell you, this is like real food. It's just going to be great. And what I did was I used my dry mix container and I put everything that you shared in here and blended it up. And I think there was one thing that I was missing that I wanted to ask you about. Marjoram.
Marjoram, you can use oregano instead of marjoram if you want to. Okay, more people have marjoram than Mexican oregano. Mexican oregano would be my second choice. Oregano would be my third choice. And I probably would use half as much oregano. But you know what? You can just leave it out.
You could leave it out. I love that you give permission to be flexible with yourself and the recipes. You know, you don't have to get crazy about it if something you don't have it, right? I ran out of ground celery seed and I could go to the store and get it, but I thought I think it's okay. You know, and so I think it's great that you're giving everybody permission to be flexible, because being in the kitchen and doing this kind of stuff, I know for me, I want it to be fun, you know?
It makes it a lot less of a chore if it can be fun. So sometimes I have to work in the kitchen and it's not as fun. And then sometimes I get to go, woo, I'm going to play. And it at first, if you're already nervous about being in the kitchen, if you're already nervous about messing up, out of all the books, so I've probably created more than 1,000 recipes. And out of that, I think 2 or 3 got thrown out as I was developing them. And
I can only think of one, actually.
I think it was 2.
But I think there was 2.
Yeah. And that's in 15 years. And what I want you to think about whenever you're like, well, that's just okay. Well, if you just had some pasta and some marinara sauce, that's just kind of okay too, right? So you're still winning. You are winning, and you're only going to get better and build on that skill set. So like in the book, I have the absolute easiest marinara sauce you can make. Literally, you open up a can of crushed tomatoes. You could be fancy and get the one with basil or something else in it. I just put like onion powder, garlic powder, Italian seasoning recipe mix that I already have, a little bit of balsamic, some nutritional yeast. If you eat salt, you could use salt. If not, you could use the plain salt seasoning with garlic, onion, and celery seed.
Usually I'm the one that's like, hey, I'm going to make us dinner. I'm going to make spaghetti, because that's really the only thing that I can make really quick and easy. And then I'll go to the cabinet and I'll be like, oh, we don't have any sauce.
Because she likes to buy the jars of sauce.
I like this jars from Aldi that don't have any
oil in them.
And then if we don't have one, and I'll be like, well, we don't have any sauce. And then she'll get up and just roll her eyes at me and take a can and open this can. And in 5 minutes,
it's not even 5 minutes. I don't even do anything but take a spatula and mix everything up. And actually, because we traveled with part of it, we didn't eat all of it at her parents', but it was a little suspect, the cooler on the way home. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pour out the rest of this. And I was looking, I was like, what a thick, rich, wonderful sauce. Because we just had gone to Trader Joe's. You know, some of those sauces are thin and you're like, why am I paying for this? And it costs, basically you're paying for whatever a big can of crushed tomatoes costs. And that can be, depending on the day, anywhere between $1.50 to $3, $4 if you're doing fancy.
Depends what store you're at.
And another thing is, when I have, like, if I have leftover, whether it's from a can or, you know, or I make it, I tend to pour it into like an ice cube tray and freeze it. And I know those are about a tablespoon. So I can use the whole thing if I need like half a can or whatever, but I also can figure out how much I need. And then that doesn't go bad. So, but I will make a note and say, like, you know, tomato sauce, no salt, or, you know, added Italian seasoning or whatever. And so that's another way. I'm not good at, I just haven't had enough experience at canning like your friend Marilyn. So I do a lot of freezing, and so that was one thing that I've really learned, even if it's just a little bit, because if I have 6 or 7 of those just little bits over a period of time, I actually have quite a bit.
It's just like mushroom stems, right? And that things do accumulate. I'm always really big on freezing things. So one of my first recipes that I'm very proud of is my bouillon recipe, right? That's just basically onion, carrots, celery, and some thyme. You can cook it in the Instant Pot, the slow cooker, in your oven, on top of the stove, any way you want, and puree it, and you make a bouillon, and I freeze that in bouillon cube or in ice cube trays. And then I take it out, and then I make enough. And with any of these, like the bouillon, the first time you make it, you may want to just make the small amount and see if it's something that you really like. I haven't had anyone say anything like that they didn't like the bouillon yet, but some things are going to be like with the witchin sauce we're going to make, maybe that's not to your taste, and we can talk about how you can make it differently. But once you decide, so Jennifer, if you're like, this bouillon I went through like in 2 days, so I want to make, you can literally make the giant mason jar full and make it 4 times a year or twice a year.
Oh, I love that. And I also, I like to, if I'm using a recipe, I like to make the recipe just how it is and then decide, oh, I really liked it, but for me, it was too spicy or it was too, whatever, and then adjust it according to what my tastes are. But with yours, I also put it in a jar, and then I like to, put a label on it. And so my label today says Easy Vegan Chicken Bouillon Powder. It's got the date, and then I put KH for Kathy Hester. I know that's your recipe. And you know what? I don't get fancy. This tape is, I can't even tell you how old it is, probably older than the 15 years we've been in this house. And and a pen, and it's just simple. And when I'm done, I can peel it off and I can just make new labels. And that's really helpful as well. So the reason I made this, I didn't taste it yet, so I'm going to taste it with you.
Okay.
Was because of one of the other recipes, which is I wanted to make the split pea apple soup mix. I made the mix already, and whenever you say, I'll put it in the Instant Pot. But shall I taste this?
Sure.
Okay, let me just get a
And-
little
Yeah.
spoon, a little something. And I was shaking it because there's nothing in here that's going to be like caking or keeping it together. And so, if I notice something looks like it might have separated or that it looks darker on one side, just shake it up a little, right?
Right. And if you take any vitamins or you have friends or relatives on medications, get them to their desiccant packs, and you can put that in there. If
Yes.
you live in a dry climate, you won't need to use those really.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay. I'm a fan.
It tastes way more than what you think it would. When you read it, you're like, that's not going to taste like much.
Ooh, it's very good. I can just actually keep doing it, but I won't.
And you could put that on popcorn. You could actually sprinkle it or the beefy bouillon. So the beefy bouillon has like mushrooms, ancho chili, other darker sorts of things. And that's something else. Like you could either, like with the chickeny one, you could take, if you eat soy curls, or you could do tofu, coat it in that and do chicken fried tofu in your air fryer. There's all different kinds of things you can do with the spices.
I love that. Do you think you could put this on like cooked rice?
Oh, yeah. In fact, you could put it in the broth while you're cooking the rice.
Oh,
most people in this community aren't using nutritional yeast to get their B vitamins. So if you're doing that, cooking will take that away. So you'll sprinkle it on top later. But like Chef AJ and a lot of other people are getting non-fortified nutritional yeast. I don't care. I go either way. I'm like, eh.
I do the non-fortified just because I want to, pay attention to how much, and I do enjoy this very much. Well, I mean, I enjoy nutritional yeast. I don't have it every day or anything, but this is really great. And so I needed that. I needed this to be able to do the split pea apple soup mix. Is it okay if I bring and show you what I did? I followed your instructions. And so what I did was I was thinking that I understood that you teach that you can layer them and you can store it so that it's ready to go. You don't have to do this if you're about to make it, but if you were not going to make it or you were going to take it, like we recently went camping for my son's birthday. This would have been great because we brought our Instant Pot to the campground.
I do that, or a slow cooker. If I know we're going to hike,
You need one of these.
yeah, and this Cheryl got me this. I'll show you from the top.
Oh, here, let me do this. There we go. Look at that.
So this has Italian dressing because I can actually take, a little bit of anything and make it into a dressing, or just put it over the salad with some balsamic. Tofu scramble. We've been traveling on boats a lot, and they just give you plain tofu with no seasoning.
Oh.
I have this nacho cheese mix. All I need to do is put a little hot water. At home, I usually put a little bit of non-dairy milk and put it in the microwave. It makes amazing nacho cheese. A chai spice from the book that I put on my oatmeal. This is a mole sauce that you make it just like the nacho cheese, but it's a really good, rich mole sauce. A brown gravy. Let's see. This is just a basic cheese sauce, so we could put on noodles or over potatoes or steamed vegetables. This is a peanut sauce made with PB2. And then this is a Middle Eastern chickpea sauce made with chickpea flour.
So
and this is what we travel with.
Yeah. So all of those are dried, correct?
Yep. Dry and shelf stable.
So if you were going to use that and you weren't going to put it in a soup or something, like you were saying about the tofu, is it important? I mean, I know you can sprinkle it on, but can you add a little bit of water or something if you wanted it to be like a sauce or a dressing or something, or just?
Oh yeah. So usually I put about 2 tablespoons of the nacho cheese mix and about a 1/4 cup of milk or water, depending. You whisk it together. If you have a microwave, or you could, if we were on the boat, I could use the hot water for tea and whisk it.
Okay.
Let it sit for a little bit. In the microwave, if you have a powerful microwave, usually about half, 50%, or just do it for about 45 seconds at a time. If it starts looking like a sauce muffin, you just add some more liquid, mix it up again. You think you've gone too far, but it can be sold.
No, but so I don't know how large those are, how many ounces they hold, but it's not a liquid, so you could travel, bring it right on with you.
Oh yeah, yeah. So and this is the
thing.
Italian seasoning mix. It's a little, needs to be broken up some. It's probably close to a 1/4 cup, so about 4 tablespoons.
Okay, and we have a question in the chat here. Jill Caperton, 1568, is that in Kathy's Amazon store?
It will be. I'll have Cheryl find it. Cheryl knows where it is, and I don't.
For her birthday last year.
We'll add that in.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, so just give her a little time and they'll get that in for you.
And we've traveled, this has traveled in ships and airplanes and been packed. And these are glass jars, but they've done really well like this. It's really nice and padded.
Yeah. How long can you store it? It doesn't have to be in that container, but any of your recipes, how long can you store these powders? And what's the best way to store them if you can store them anyway?
Probably 6 months to a year.
Wow, really?
Most of them, yeah. Now, the one that has the chickpea flour, that should still be able to be that. If you the only thing in the book that I would say less than that is if you did the soy curl soup, because soy curls are not going to last as long as everything else. But we're looking at rolled oats, spices, even potato flakes, mushroom powder, those are pretty shelf stable, and they don't have a lot of oils that can start going bad. That's what happens with soy curls. They just have some natural stuff, and flours can go bad, but it takes a while.
Okay, that's good. I'm going to ask another question, and then I'm going to pull my Instant Pot over here. Dolores K9412 says, do you dehydrate your own pumpkin for the pumpkin powder used in the curry pumpkin soup mix. So it sounds like she already has your book.
Yes, you can. And you can buy pumpkin powder. So I've done it both ways. So like you cook the pumpkin, then you scoop out the flesh and you dehydrate it and then make it into a powder. Or you go to Amazon, you go, send me some pumpkin powder. And sometimes it depends on the time of the year. So I think around that time, I did the dehydrator class where I was dehydrating a whole bunch of things. So I think I had some, but I also have ordered some since then. And you can order, I guess the only weird things, weirder than mushroom powder, tomato powder, or pumpkin powder, would be that for the ramen mixes, I got some miso powder and I got some tamari powder. And you can make that, but you have to have the things that don't have holes and you have to pay attention more. And I didn't do it. I just bought it. Maybe I'll do it. It's not like it's brain surgery or rocket science, but like I'm probably not going to use that all the time either. So if I'm making a wet sauce, like we have stir fry sauces, we have Worcestershire sauce, a teriyaki sauce, all of those are wet sauces. And those are going to be more leaning towards having more miso and things like that. Also, if you are doing like Dr. Greger and things, I would check and make sure that dehydrated miso fits all the things, because I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, also there comes a point, right, where how much time is it going to take me to do all this versus opening a bag?
Right.
And you have that choice. And one thing that I want to be really clear is I am never trying to guilt someone to do everything A to Z, ever. And it's the same thing, like some people will be like, well, I only have frozen vegetables. Well, great, because some people have disabilities where they can't cut things up. Mm-hmm. I can totally work with that. Do I ever use frozen? I've got a big bag of frozen vegetables. Why? I can cut things up. Sometimes I'm just lazy.
And sometimes it's not safe for me to cut things up.
Yeah, right. And so just know, because like actually Marilyn, if she's on here, Marilyn decided not to get the Beast blender because she sees that I have a little bit of a wrist issue and I have to use the jar opener to get it off. And she's like, no, that'd be too hard for me. And so just like we normally do that day to day about appliances and other decisions, you can make that about food too. So if you find it fun to experiment and dehydrate things and see what happens, totally do it. Mm-hmm. And if you're like, that will make me never make any of this, then buy the powders.
Mm-hmm. And buy the powders. And like I saw that, was it tamarind in one of your recipes? And I'm like, I don't know what that is. But so you can learn about some of these things maybe that you're not familiar with, but also, like you said, it's okay sometimes to get it ready to go. For example, this called for apples, of course, because that's in the title, split pea apple soup mix, but they're like dehydrated, sliced, diced apples or apple powder. Well, I've had that before, but I didn't have any. So I do have a dehydrator, and I'll just show you. Last night before I went to bed, I'm like, oh my gosh, we need apples. So they're not diced, but I sliced them with a mandolin, and I had a couple different, and I'm like, well, let's see if these are ready. Hopefully they're dry enough. And so these are the extra ones. Todd already asked me, are those the extra ones? Like, I think he needs
those are going to be good.
Those are going to be awesome apple chips. I'm jealous.
And let me tell you this, too late, but I'm going to tell you this, is that the reason you're dehydrating the apples for that, or using dehydrated apples, is so that it's shelf stable. So you make it and you're storing it for another time, or you're making 10 of those to give as Christmas gifts or holiday gifts or birthday gifts, or, oh, my friend just got the flu gift, right?
Love that.
I like to keep a bunch of those around also, or if it's just like, gosh, this has been a long day. Cheryl, throw that. Here's a thing. Put it in the slow cooker with some water or the Instant Pot with some water. So if you're making these for yourself, you could leave out the apples and put fresh diced apples in with it on the Instant Pot. There's no wrong way to do this.
Okay, that's good to know. I love all the tips and tricks and all those things you just said about gifts and just making it shelf stable. I love that. And that it's okay if you're going to make it right now, you don't have to do that. You could just throw them in. Now, one of the layers in here was dehydrated, vegetables. And so I'm assuming you could use fresh, but for me, I didn't have time now to do that too. I did have some store-bought dehydrated vegetables. Do you want to grab those out of the cabinet? They're from Harmony Harvest.
And I think these are from Frontier. I just have them in a...
Oh, look at you. Yes. Those are great looking. So,
And let me tell you, they're more than a year old.
Oh, and so are mine. Thank you, honey. And so are mine. And, and this just says dehydrated vegetable soup mix. But when I look at the back, it's carrots, onions, tomatoes, peas, celery, green bell pepper, green beans, and parsley. So it's the same idea because you gave us a lot of different options on here. There's 3 different options. You can just have carrots and something else, or you can have this or something else. So anyways, I just wanted to share kind of what I did. And the only thing I would say is if you're going to give this as a gift, right, don't shake it.
Well, that's the only reason we layer it so it's pretty. So either A, it's pretty sitting on a shelf. So we look at it and we go, not only did I make cool things, now I have art in the kitchen waiting.
Yes. So, okay, I'm going to follow your instruction and then start this, and then you will, hopefully I will do well. So you said, add the water. So, and you have instructions for a slow cooker. You don't only have to do this on an Instant Pot. I'm doing it so that we can have it by the end of the show. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour the whole thing because this has, I'll show you the top of it. This has, all the layers, including all the seasoning. You have everything ready to go here except for the water, including a bay leaf that we'll take out at the end on top. And so do I go ahead and just dump? Yep. Just dump. Oh my gosh, see? Now dinner's almost ready. So then what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to show you what it looks like now. And I've got it plugged in over here. I'm going to put the Instant Pot on. Let me see how long you tell me to do it for 10 minutes. And then in the meantime, while I set that up, you can, share whatever you'd like to share. I'm going to get that going here.
Okay. So one of the things too, you could cook that on the stove if you wanted to. And depending on all the different things, it may end up being more liquidy than you want it. And if you're in the Instant Pot, then what we can do is we can just turn it to saute and high and take the lid off and just stir it and let some of that evaporate out. If it ends up being thicker than what you want, you can add some more water or broth. Let's see. I was seeing a couple of things in the question too. Yeah, Marilyn was saying you can dehydrate pumpkin puree for an easy powder. Marilyn is the dehydrator goddess.
She is.
In Pennington. Yeah, and CJ. Oh, hey, CJ. I haven't seen you in a while. She has the tomato soup mix for a year. The tomato soup mix is really awesome. Like, it's crazy. It's just, I think I need to make another batch. So maybe I'll do that live this week at some point. But it's, tomato powder, non-dairy milk powder, and some spices or not, some less than others. I put more in mine and less in hers. And it's just really easy and great. So with these soups, and it's just really nice to be able to just pour, because sometimes you don't even have a quarter of a teaspoon and you're lucky you open the jar.
I'm always trying to buy those soups that are already made, like the Pacific Foods and stuff like that. And she's always like, why do you want that? And I'm always like, well, so I can just pour it out and it's ready. And she's like, you can just mix up the soup and it's ready.
You just need a whisk for like the pumpkin soup or the tomato soup.
So I've gotten better with it now. I like the soup a lot.
You
Yeah.
have, like, and it's not wrong to want convenience. And I've bought those before too. They're fairly clean. You have to be careful. Some of them do have milk these days. But what's happened is they used to be, you could get them on sale for like $2, and now they're like $6-7 for almost nothing.
That little two serving thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't like about it. But with the soups and a few of the other things, like even there's an overnight oat mix. Not that y'all can't make your own overnight oats without a mix. So I'm not, but we've been traveling a lot. So I have like chia seeds and flax seeds, and you can put PB2 in there if you wanted to make peanut butter, and you could add some cocoa, or you could do.
As long as we've got a refrigerator, she has breakfast immediately.
I've even just put water and mashed a banana in with it. As soon as we get to the hotel room, and I put it in the fridge, and
no hangriness while she's waiting for me to get ready the next morning, because she can eat her little thing while I'm getting ready.
My little thing, and I have my little jars that I pack in our stuff. But there was a really good mix at Costco that was very expensive, and then they didn't have it again. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing with some of these. Like Well Your World has a lot of gravy mixes and mixes like that, and there's nothing wrong with those. And there's nothing wrong if you decide you don't want to make yours and you want to buy them. Mm-hmm. But it's less expensive if you do make it yourself. And since so many of these things that are shelf stable last so long, you don't have to make it every week. It's not like I'm telling you, okay, so what I want from you is I want Sunday from 12 to 3 for you to get all this stuff together for the week. And it's like, no, maybe we do it once a quarter. Maybe this quarter you're like, hey, all my friends really need I made my friends a couple of years ago fresh chili powder. Mm-hmm. And it cost me more for the jars than it did to get the guajillo and the ancho chilies. But all I did was cut them, take the seeds out, roast them, blend them into a powder, and it's the best powder you can have.
Oh, you've got the best ideas and suggestions. I just love it. This is wonderful. There was a question about the water. Was the water warm already? I'm assuming that was the water that I added into the Instant Pot, and it was room temperature. So what would you prefer us to use, Kathy, in that recipe?
Oh, plain water, just not warmed. I wouldn't go to any trouble to warm up my water or use boiling water.
Okay. So I have a Berkey that sits on the counter, and I just used that. So it was room temperature. It was filtered water. That's just what we have here. Hopefully that will help. And so that's doing its thing. I got a couple questions, but we can also, if you want to strain or do whatever you want to do, you let me know what works for you.
Well, I thought I would make the almond milk. So before we made the witchin sauce, was there anything else you were going to make? Or we're good?
No, I had the cilantro jalapeno witchin sauce we're going to do together. And then I did already the split pea apple soup, which is in the Instant Pot, and that easy vegan chicken bouillon powder, which tasted so good. So
and it takes like 5 minutes to make that. You guys, really 5 minutes.
It really was simple, yes. And so I love that there's also different options, like the one that we're going to do together, and you're going to tell what you're doing. You don't have to do that because I didn't have soy and okara. I used, a different one. So I love all of the options that you offer.
Well, I think it's really important, and I don't expect everyone to make soy milk, and some people are allergic to soy. Some people are allergic to nuts. I am going to be working on a book for all, like a different milks, creamers, and pulp recipes for next year. There's little hints in this book that you get to do, because I can't stand it. So I gave you some good cheeses and things with some of the milk pulps. But I'm using blanched almonds. and I want to come back and say, if you're using oat milk, that's what I was getting ready to do. You don't need a milk maker if you're making oat milk. Just use your blender. It's cheaper. If that's all you want to make, use a fine mesh strainer. But oat milk pulp is not going to work good in the cheese ones. It will work for like adding it to your oatmeal, making little cookies, mixing it in with your dog's food, things like that. So you don't have to waste it, but it's not going to perform. It's not going to be the same texture. So you don't want something slimy that's going to go bad in a day. Okay, now blanched almonds. I get these because the skins are already removed. So you could soak your almonds, poke them out of the skins. And I know most of you will do that like once and say never again. The reason I do this is I make some things with it. And actually, this is some queso fresca that I made. So to put on tacos or taco salads. And it's just a really great texture. I'm going to make this with a nama just like you did. When I make my soy milk, I use, the Meomat. So it heats up, and so it cooks the soybeans, it blends them, and then I strain it in a fine mesh strainer. Meomat is coming out, hopefully it'll be the end of this month or beginning of next month, depending on all the shipping, with a stainless steel super fine mesh strainer that I cannot wait for. So I almost always strain through this, and then I use a half a cup of soybeans. I get a cup of okara or soy milk pulp. It's just the Japanese way to say that. So that's why a lot of times I'll choose blanched almonds, because if I'm making a cheese substitute, it's white. Does it matter if it's a little brown? No, it doesn't. So in here, I put about a half a cup and about 4 cups of water. And because I have it, it's not like if you have a Meomat or an Archmira or any of the other milk makers, you have to have a Nama too. Normal people who aren't reviewing milk makers just need to find the one that works best for them.
I think if she didn't love soy the way she does the soy milk, I think this would probably be the only milk maker we would have in the house.
I love how easy it's the easiest. And I think once the other strainer is there, it's just cleaning it out. Soy tries to hang on to the stainless steel. So I just have a little brush and it brushes right out as long as you wash it immediately. So it's not hard. I have tried, and I had talked about trying this before, cooking soybeans and then putting it through the Nama. Of course, it's horrible.
Nope.
Then I tried
the
opposite, putting everything in here and then cooking everything, and it was still horrible.
It was a nope.
And by horrible, I mean it didn't look like mashed potatoes. So it wasn't something you'd want to make into a cheese. So I'm just going to put this on. It's going to go for about 1 minute. And this is why it's so easy. And I'll show you the Meomats over here. And it has a lot more settings. And with the Meomat, if you use my name, Kathy Hester, you get a discount. I think it's $15 off. Let's see if I can show you this from above. And so it cooks. So the almond cow doesn't cook, but it's a little bit similar. Raw milk actually isn't raw. It cooks it just a little bit. The smoothie setting here is actually raw at the bottom. It cooks it just barely. So, and cereal milk, no matter which thing you're using, you don't want to use cereal milk on oat milk. It's going to make some weird concoction that you don't like. The cool thing is you can also make creamy or chunky soups, porridge, or smoothies in there too. So, and it looks a little like this. This comes off. if I can get it off right now.
And that's stainless steel, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the inside is stainless steel. Everything that touches any of the milk is stainless steel, and they're making a complete stainless, like this is metal on the very bottom, but it's plastic around. This is the best one that I could find, but it's going to be all stainless, and it actually has a glass container underneath it. It's going to be very cool, but it takes about 20 minutes for soy milk, and if it tastes a little beany for you, if you leave it plugged in, it'll start running a second time.
So you did talk about some of the settings on that machine. Can you repeat which setting is the most common that you would use for making the soy milk specifically?
Soy milk.
Oh, that's easy to remember.
Right? And the raw does cook it a little bit. So like if I'm making oat milk in there, I would want to use the smoothie, has none. Sorry.
That's
And,
okay. We can hear you.
I think it's the raw setting that I use to make almond milk. So if you make almond milk with heat, it'll froth with a frother, like a cappuccino. Whereas most of it doesn't. Soy milk also froths.
Okay.
And see, it's just spinning the bejesus out of everything. So we're going to get every drop out. And this has been sitting for a while. So this is pretty dry okara.
Let me just bring you up here so everyone can see what you're talking about. And here you can show.
And so this is the nice creamy milk. And both soy and almond, I think, keep for almost a week. As long as your fridge is really cold, you should be golden. Okay. And then what happens is when we here, actually, let me move this back a little bit. And you can kind of see all of that pulp, right? Will you change this to? I'm not sure right now, so I'm just going to put it on a plate.
You mean take this?
No, I want you to move the camera to the front camera.
To the front camera. I can do that.
Okay. Let's move this over here. So you just kind of take it out, and then almost all of the stuff is right there.
There's some on the back here too.
Yeah, there is a little bit.
You don't want to waste it.
No.
That's good stuff.
We do not like to waste that.
Good stuff.
So if there is a little like lay down reusable zip bag.
Oh, here, I have mine here.
Yeah, good.
I made it earlier today. So this is the bag that she's talking about, and that's my extra. Now my color is different than yours because two reasons. I had the skins, they were not, peeled. And also I added, because of the milk drinkers in my house, I added a date. So the color is a little bit different than yours.
And what I usually, so your stuff is going to be a little sweet. So when I'm making it for cheeses and stuff, I usually try not to put the date in with it and do it separate. But if it's not too sweet for you, you're fine. But see how this already looks almost like a queso fresca, just right there.
Yes.
Like, look at that.
I think next time I would leave it out because I personally would prefer it without it. But I was just thinking about who was going to drink all this.
And that is the most important thing, is that it doesn't get wasted, right?
Right. No, absolutely. And you can even clean it in here. I could put some water, a couple of drops of soda or soap, and then have it run again. But
Yes.
those are just the two different ones. And it's not that one is better than the other. It really is what you like.
And so one of the questions I had asked you when we spoke earlier was, when I was preparing for this, is, does this pulp need to be dried or does it need to be moist and fresh and wet? And you told me it needs to be fresh and wet. So that's something to consider if you're planning to make this, that you're going to want to make it either a day ahead, however long it'll take you, because I can keep this packet in the refrigerator here for what? How many days would you say would this be fresh?
Say almost a week, 5 to 7 days if your fridge is really cold. The other thing is I pop the stuff in the freezer.
Oh, just like that. See, I
Mhm.
dehydrate it. Now I have to go to the freezer. That's so smart.
Well, and you could use it for different ways. So it just depends on what you want to use it for. Now, a lot of times I will make almond milk just to make a ricotta, or especially if we're going to have like Mexican food and because I just add a little bit of salt, lactic acid, a few other things, and then poof, it's a whole thing of vegan cheese that's
Wow.
basically free.
Right. Because otherwise people would just not know what to do with it and get rid of it.
And a lot of people do throw it away. Like there's a bubble tea place, because I was trying to see if they would sell some of my friends, because they make their own soy milk. I'm like, what do you do with your Okara? And they're like, oh, we just throw it away. And I'm like, will you sell it if I send you some people? She's like, sure, right? And so if you have an Asian market too, a lot of times on the weekends, someone will be selling fresh soy milk. So you could probably talk to them and then maybe next time buy some Okara and stick it in the freezer. So just like this, I make this into ricotta because this is the perfect texture for ricotta. So in this recipe in particular, what might be the difference? And I'm going to use the soy Okara instead of the other. If you could get the beast sort of ready and move that back, that would be awesome. So that you can see the difference between mine and Jennifer's, just in the texture. So probably and this is a pretty good dry Okara. Yours is going to be drier, and so you might have to add a little bit of liquid to get it to blend possibly. Or I may have strained mine so good because I strained it for a couple of hours that maybe I might need a little water.
Okay, so I already pre-measured this. So you want me to get a little water and add it to it?
Well, we can always see if it blends or not. But does it feel really pretty dry?
Well, I mean, no, it is dry. I mean, look, I can, form it.
Well, let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, it doesn't blend and then we add some water.
Okay, now I don't have that machine that you're using to blend, and I was really I was torn between using the NutriBullet or what to use, and so I was gonna I was thinking I would use this Breville food processor, and then if it still needed to go in, then transfer, because I do that sometimes, then transfer it in here, because I thought the way the stages are and the things that you instruct to do, that if I put it in the in this guy, then it's not going to blend up. So what should I use?
Okay, so the only thing, and I can show you something for the Vitamix I have too. It's not my favorite, but if you only have a Vitamix, you can get a small container.
So I can use NutriBullet.
I would use the NutriBullet. So I was using a small Ninja. The only reason I use the Beast is I've gone through 3 Ninjas in the past 4 or 5 years. And this motor is actually better, closer to a Vitamix. And the real reason I got it is it got marked down from like $200 to $69 or $59. So I got 2, and I'm like, I don't have to deal with Ninja for a while. So I'm not saying you have to have this. And honestly, if you had a small food processor, or if you only had an immersion blender, and one of
those too. I have it right here for the soup.
Right, and then most of them come with a little container so that you could blend something in it. And when I was making those Thai curry pastes, this was the only way I could do it with the immersion blender. So depending on what you have or what you can find at the thrift store, if you don't have all the things. And I don't know if I can get to the other little one, but it looks about like that. And I probably could have used a smaller container. I like this because it also has even this small a container. which is really nice for the spice blends.
Okay. So this is the smaller container in here, not as small as yours. So I could either do it in here, but I was thinking if I did it in here, it wouldn't blend because there's not a lot of liquid.
Well, we can always add whatever liquid we need to add to.
Okay.
I would add it little by little.
Okay, so you think I should use the NutriBullet?
Yeah.
I think you could use either one. I know you're wanting me to tell you exactly
Which
which one.
one? Okay. Gee.
I think the NutriBullet because it's easier to clean up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody in the chat have a preference? You tell me now. But I will try it in the NutriBullet, and then I won't use this today.
I'm gonna put a little salt. But again, if you don't use salt, you can use salt substitute.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and catch up to you, and I'm going to pour in some of my ingredients. Oh my goodness.
And a lot of times, okay, so Cheryl can't have things that are very hot. And jalapenos have honestly been less hot lately. Just in stores, it's been harder to find hot jalapenos. But this is what I'll often do. So I cut off a little piece, I put it on my tongue.
Wow, brave lady.
It's medium mild.
You want me to try it?
You almost could. It's got a little bit, but I mean, not much at all. Just touch your tongue to it. Don't do this to habanero.
Or
It's just
serrano.
jalapeno.
Or
Let's see it.
serrano, maybe.
It's really so someone said, I didn't know you. I think it was Elizabeth. It was like, I didn't know that you could get mild jalapenos. Well, we're not trying to, but they just happen. And so I say use a tablespoon of fresh jalapeno, but
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
it's not bad at all. But I'm probably going to use 2 because this is so mild and the flavor will be delightful.
I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, in the instructions, it says, which we're talking about, use a small blender, but it also says, or a food mill cup. What's a food mill cup?
Food mill cup.
Food mill cup. I don't know
Oh,
what
I
that is.
meant a spice. It's probably a spice grinder cup. Like, so you can also use a spice grinder. And so this is an attachment for the Ninja. That's like that. Or
Oh, okay. I have something like that too. I'll bring out to show.
I wouldn't really use that though. I gotta. I'll check.
Were you talking about this?
Well, I was talking about the other part that goes on it too. There's a big part.
Is it like this?
Yeah, that's a spice grinder.
Oh, I've never heard it called a food mill. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm learning stuff all the time.
I wonder if you meant coffee mill
I have no idea.
and
I
it
could
got
not tell you.
combined.
Well, it's
That
clear
sounds
now.
like a me error. So there. Also, if you have the book and you see some errors, tell me, and I'm going to be updating whatever we had a whole bunch of people editing, but it doesn't matter. You can have 100 people edit, and there will still be things that we all miss.
Okay, well, it does say in a small blender or a food mill cup. So in the instructions on the first line, if that's something that you wanted to change, you could, but now we all understand what it is. So you might not need to.
And with a lime, so I have
Oh,
recipes that use lime and lemon powder.
Wait, you're putting everything in together and that's okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to put mine in too. This is a jalapeno that I took the seeds out of.
And I didn't use any of the seeds either.
And that's because the seeds are where the spice is. And if you don't like it, get those out. But yours doesn't ask for it anyways. You want to take it out.
I could have put these seeds in. I just ate that seed.
You just ate that seed.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I'm not going to eat the seeds.
No, but you could.
I don't know.
It's barely medium. So like one of the things I could do, so I'm going to take some juice of this lime. A smart thing to do would be to zest all of this. dehydrate it and put it in a little thing and save it up and then make lemon or lime powder. You could do that with lemons too.
I do have some of that, and I've also done it with orange rind.
Yes, and I do have one. I think it's the French fry seasoning is like sesame and orange. It's actually from somebody. I did a copycat of Spice Walla's fry spice because I had never seen it before. So if you have a lime that's or any kind of citrus that you want to do, if you hit it and roll it, you'll get more juice out of it, in case you didn't know. Or if you're just having a bad day.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, okay.
Come here, lime. Let me tell you who's boss, right?
Exactly.
Well, I added some zest right now that's not dried just because you made that sound exciting.
And it adds a lot. So there's actually some oils in the zest. So like when you have like a lemon twist or something and you twist it over a cocktail or mocktail, it's the oils and they're extra fragrant. It's really nice.
Okay.
And we're going to do some garlic powder. You could also use fresh garlic if you want. I use a lot of garlic and onion powder because then you just don't have to be bothered.
And you don't have the chunks.
Right. Okay. I've got some garlic powder I'll put in here too.
And the cilantro, I kind of didn't want to puree it. So that's when I put it in steps. I think did I put that at the very end or no?
You have a couple different steps, and yes, it's at the end. Well, no, it says you add the okra, or, in my case, I'm doing the almond pulp, the nutritional yeast, and then if you're using salt, you would put it in there, blend that, and then it says add the jalapeno, the lime juice, and the cilantro, and the garlic powder.
And that must be what I said when I taught it in class, because that's what I had it do, and I'm like, that's too complicated. Lots of times I dumb it down. So let me see.
Put it in here the way it is and hold off on putting the cilantro right now.
And
okay,
I may even need to add a little bit of non-dairy milk or water because it's not dry. Yeah, it's a little dry.
Okay.
So
let's see. So you want me to add? Okay, I'll do that. Which would you prefer?
Let me see how you can see it smushing a little bit. Yeah, and we're going to need a little bit. Probably I would add a tablespoon to start out with. Okay. I have milk here, so I'm just going to use it.
Okay, I'm going to get mine because I just made it today.
Me too.
Yes.
And let me get, the Beast has a special spatula because it has some little grooves. So I'm just going to push everything down so that it can kind of get in that liquid a little bit.
Okay.
It's always hard when you're using, like, I wish we had tiny little things for our food processors or our blenders, but we don't always.
You like the spatulas?
Oh, I love spatulas, but this one is special for the Beast. So if you don't have the Beast, you don't need it. There actually are all these grooves, so it actually works really well.
I've seen you use that. I love this one to use on a lot of different ones. This one by Vitamix.
That's a spurtle, isn't it?
I don't know, but
it's a giant spurtle.
It's a spurtle.
It's a spurtle. So on this NutriBullet, it's like my favorite thing because there are grooves in here, and I just push them down like this all the way around until I get to the last little section.
Oh, nice.
And then I dump it and pour it out the other way, and it cleans it so great.
That's awesome.
Let's see.
So I'm going to add a little bit more.
I mixed. Yeah, I think I'm going to do 2 tablespoons. And the worst thing is that maybe it's a little too thin and we could add some more pulp.
Oh, okay.
But if it doesn't blend, we're kind of just,
Whoops. Hold on. Here we go.
Smaller one.
So I think maybe I need a little bit more.
I think you're going to need a little more. 'Cause
Okay. That was about 2 teaspoons. So I'm
and it's
eyeing
not
this.
surprising that you would use a little bit more than me because the Nama has a drier pulp, right?
Oh. I love dancing. Okay.
Yeah, I
Oh.
can handle it.
There we go.
And see, this is really pretty good, but I'm going to scrape it down and let it go a little longer. But see how it looks almost like a yogurt consistency?
Oh, mine is, yes, now I understand. That's the consistency we're looking for. And you can see
Oh,
I
it's
am far
good.
from that.
Yeah, you need.
I didn't add my green cilantro yet. Will that give it some more liquid?
It'll give it some. I haven't added it. Usually I like to blend it a little bit more because there's still some, how am I getting, like thicker pulp part. I would like that to get a little smoother.
Okay.
And so I'm going to blend this a little bit longer.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Right?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I just can't help it. Ooh.
Like
Getting
some
somewhere now.
pepper there.
Move it over a little.
Huh?
I think we're getting somewhere. I'm getting
Yeah.
here, but not quite there. Keep going. Should I add some more or just keep blending?
What do you think? Does it seem like it? Like mine may be a little extra liquidy.
Oh, see here, look, watch.
Yeah, you got to get this.
You know, it's kind of like plopping.
I would let it go a little bit longer.
Okay, on the blend. Okay.
Yeah, let it blend a little bit more and see if it blends down a little bit.
Okay, it smells really great.
You can taste it right now too.
Okay, I will. Let me see. Mmm, yummy.
Use this like this.
Oh wow, and I did get a little taste of the jalapeno pepper, and I like it.
I can't get mine off.
Oh, you can't get your lid off. We have to see. Hold on, let me just do this.
That's okay. No. Like literally, we're just kind of stuck right now because here,
All right.
Cheryl needs
All right,
to get
then
it.
I'll just.
I haven't had it this
blending mine.
I know. I need something to get me some grip from the bottom too.
Yeah, okay, I can grab the bottom. You get the top.
I use both hands. Ready?
Okay.
We're going opposite direction. There you go.
Oh,
Teamwork.
makes the dream work.
Okay. Ooh,
So see,
that looks really nice and creamy.
yeah, I would like it to be maybe a little thicker, like a dip, but you could go either way with it. So
Okay,
this is kind of my take on bitchin' sauce. Have you ever had that with the almonds and stuff?
I have. Yes, I absolutely have had that before. I had to think about it. They have a line of all kinds of different flavors.
Yeah, and I have in this book I have a plain, and I have their jalapeno cilantro. So now I'm gonna.
So you're starting to add the cilantro. Mine is still needing. It's not as creamy as yours, or it still looks a little chunky. So I'm gonna go and blend it again.
Okay, that sounds good.
Keep going.
The only reason I'm not using the stems right now is because I want it to get pretty thick, and we're not going to blend it like crazy. But cilantro stems have all the flavor that cilantro does. So it's great to blend these up and put them in sauces or salsas or soup. And I'm also going to just cut this just a little bit because I don't know. I wish I had gotten the other size. container. But it's not a bad thing because most of you don't have the smaller containers. And this was a packed cup. And if you hate cilantro, you can leave it out. So how's that?
Okay, I am going to add a little bit more liquid just because. Let me show you what's happening here. Nothing treacherous or anything, but it just seems like it's
A little chunky.
a little bit, yeah, just a little bit. So
And Dippin' sauce is a little it's a little chunkier than I like it. And so I'm just going to mix this in a little bit to kind of hold it and get it in there. And we'll have to let everything come back down. And I don't, my preferred way is to have some flex in it, but we'll see. We'll see how it all works.
Okay, and also just a side note, my split pea apple soup says that it's ready. It took 10 minutes, and then it's supposed to do 10 minutes of natural, and it's 12. So should I go ahead and release that?
You can. It will not hurt it to be longer.
Okay.
The reason with soups in the Instant Pot, it's really good idea to always wait and let it let it naturally release for 10 minutes, because then it's less likely to spout broth out and hurt you. That's really the only reason.
Okay, because I know we'll have to add one more step to that, but I'll just leave it and we'll stay focused here for now.
Okay. Gonna mix it up a little bit more. Let's try and get the stuff off the bottom. And you could also make a double recipe and make this a lot easier.
I think I'm finally where you're at. I think it's creamy enough to add the
Yay! See, look how pretty. Look how pretty it is.
I love that.
Right?
Wow.
And it's just a really, it's so tasty. You want to taste it?
Yeah, I'll stick my finger in there.
Like
I don't even like a lot of cilantro, but that's really flavorful.
And what could happen too is I might be like it's a totally mild jalapeno. Let's say you put one in and it's too spicy for you now. You could go ahead and add some more pulp, add some more garlic powder, a little more nooch or something like that. Like you're not really tasting the cheesy from it, but it gives it a savory flavor.
You could totally put more jalapeno in there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That one's a really mild one.
But you just have to be careful. A lot of times the bigger ones are milder. And so I might go ahead and make a hot sauce or make some mild jalapeno powder for you.
That would be nice.
So Kathy, we have a question here from Dolores K9412. I wonder if I could use almond meal and rehydrate it instead of the almond milk pulp. That was my question earlier.
It's possible. I haven't done it. So as long as it will go ahead and get creamy and meld really well, then you could. There's no problem to that.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and blend and see if I can catch up to you. I just put in my cilantro, and I did use stems in mine.
Okay.
I was scared mine Right. So I'm just putting it in. It's a nice glass container. I got these at TJ Maxx or Marshall's or someplace like that.
Okay. Now, the color difference between ours could be from a lot of different things, couldn't it?
Yeah, well, some of it could be lighting.
Lighting or camera.
Some of it will be that you use something that's a lighter color. So like, when we look at these two things together, there is a difference in color.
Okay. So whatever color you get, it doesn't mean that flavor is going to be altered. It's just what it is, because like I had the almond pulp and I had it with the skins on, and so that's a varying factor.
Right. And the thing is it changes the color so minutely that if you didn't see it next to this one, you wouldn't even question that it was maybe not as light or white enough or something. And sometimes cilantro is greener than others, or jalapenos are a little bit different shade.
And honestly, looking at her jar there,
It looks pretty close.
it looks pretty darn close to what we have. I think the camera and the lighting is just making it look a little bit more fluorescent.
Okay, I'm just gonna rinse out a jar. I just tasted a little tiny nibble, and it did make me go, ah,
Right?
good.
The thing is I don't really like bitchin sauce because it's real oily to me.
I know.
And so that's the flavor that comes through the most. And it's not that I never eat condiments that have oil in them, but I want to eat them because they are the most delicious thing ever if I'm going to eat them, right? So every once in a while, I'll use just a tiny bit of sesame oil because that's a big flavor bang for my buck. I feel like bitchin sauce just wasn't it for me. And so we could use this as a spread on a burrito, on like a crema on tacos, a dressing on a taco salad would be awesome. But
I just so happen to have stuff ready to make a little taco and try this out because I was so excited about it. I have some refried beans, a blue corn tortilla that was locally made with no oil, and some lettuce and tomatoes. So are you good if I try your wonderful? Okay. So this is what I have here.
Oh, those tortillas look amazing.
You know what? They're so good. And I had them in the freezer and then I just kind of thawed them. And I have two here in case you want to try, Todd.
And then I make tostadas with them. I like to put them in the air fryer.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I have some refried beans here. I make them homemade. These I did not make homemade. These are refried beans that are like instant.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
And so on occasion, we like to have these for that simple reason. We're tired. Oh, here we go.
And actually, that's going to be one of the recipes that'll be in the next potions and powders, because you can get like dehydrated black beans and spices, or if you don't have her dehydrated beans to make it really easy, take a can of pinto black or kidney or combo, drain it, mash it with a masher, put your favorite chili powder in there with a little bit of cumin, a little bit of jalapeno powder, maybe you squeeze a lime, and just there you go, heat them up.
That sounds so good. And you know, what I would say is I originally found these and they had oil in them. So we didn't get that anymore. Then I found them without oil, but they do have salt. So I would love to be able to make it myself like you have, and then not, just have it be the bean too. So anyways, okay. So what I'm going to do is, do you think I should put this on now or just build it however?
Build it however.
Yep.
I
Okay.
want you to live your best taco life.
Okay. Are you going to want to build your own, or you want me to build it?
You can build it, but I will happily eat it.
Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of lettuce on each one of ours. And I just have a mix here with some sprouts and then some tomato. And I've got some corn. And so I just cut it off a cob that I got at the farmer's market. I like a lot of color. And I think with your green sauce, having a little bit of tomato or that yellow color is going to be really nice. And then, of course, if you're like me, I do like a little bit of onion, although I think what I'll do is put your sauce on first. All right, here it is. Here it is. And I tasted it and I like it. We'll see what Todd says. And I'm just going to do one of these beautiful dollops.
And just so everybody knows, like yours is a little thicker than mine. I could have, if I wanted mine thicker, I could have put in a little more okara, right?
Oh, okay.
If you wanted yours a little thinner, you could keep adding a little more non-dairy milk or water or whatever. And this is going to last probably about 5 days in the fridge.
Okay.
But you could freeze it.
And you can freeze it. And so that's good to know. Here, Todd's going to come in. We're going to try this and try the sauce. You want to try the sauce separately or just eat it? Here he is.
Hello, everybody. I will try whatever it is you hand to me.
Okay, well, whichever one you want. Pick one of these.
Well, this one was closer, but you just turned the plate, so I'll have this one instead.
Okay, all right. And then we'll take a bite together. Make sure
Let's
you get the sauce. I want the sauce.
Is that not on here?
Well, it is, but make it on the first bite.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want a taco.
Mm. Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
That sauce is amazing. I'm not just saying that either. I'm telling you. That is good.
Mm.
That really blends it together. Because it's got a little bit of that jalapeno. It's not overly powering. And it is great with the beans and yum. I'm glad I didn't make one for us to share.
No, I'm glad you didn't also.
And you can change it. So like if you're tasting it and you're like, oh, I wish it had more cilantro. Oh, I wish it had habanero. I wish it had the ghost pepper from outside in the yard. You can do whatever you want with it.
Kathy, this is fantastic.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you like it. And
he really loves spice, like over the top. And so does our son. Not spice for the sake of being spicy, but you always say, say what you always say.
Not too hot just because it needs to be hot, but hot and flavorful.
Flavorful. Yeah. And so, just this on its own, go ahead and dip your finger or whatever. And is that hot enough for you? Or whatever, which we live together.
That's how I do it. I'm always telling people you don't have to eat it. It's okay.
Right.
No.
So can you can taste that jalapeno though. It's a beautiful blend.
It's fantastic. I would just eat that on almost anything.
So you wouldn't need to add hot sauce or anything. No, it's great, really you guys. So get her book.
Yeah. It's a nice balanced heat. It's very good. I'm taking my taco.
And think about it this way too. You and I made this the slowest humanly possible way. So we stretched it out. So literally you can make this makes on the week you make the milk, then you could decide, oh, I don't want to make this kind. I don't know. They have 80,000 kinds. So sometimes if there's one you want me to figure out, just tell me. But you can kind of look at the ingredients and go, okay, this one has cilantro, lime, and jalapeno. I want to make a Thai one. So I'm going to put in a little bit of lemongrass. Don't have lemongrass, use lemon. We could put a little coconut flavoring in there. We could actually, if you have a Thai curry paste, you could even put a little Thai curry paste in there. I probably would start with 1/4 of a teaspoon and go up from there. So you could just make the base, and that, because the plain witchin sauce is in there. I think it's mostly like garlic oniony. Yeah, but it's easy to make these, and it's not just you. There are times that I go, oh, gosh, I really want that sauce. And I'm like, oh, but it's going to take so long, and it feels so hard. And let me tell you, I cleaned my refrigerator out, and that felt like it was never, ever going to end. But I'm so happy it's done. And something like this, and when I make a ranch dressing for us, and I've used the okara, I've used yogurt. You can use, and that's another thing. If you don't make your own milk at all, you could use a non-dairy yogurt, a plain one, and work with that too. So, and having something like this, like now I want a taco salad, and we
really want a taco,
and we have pretty much everything we need.
You guys, I would be happy to make plates for you.
I know. I would be happy for you to make a plate for me. Well, so is the soup too thin or too thick, or?
So I'm taking out the bay leaf, and then I'm going to, it just went flying, and I'm going to show you it. I'm going to mix it, but I want to show you because sometimes it's deceiving. So
Okay, that looks
here-
pretty thick.
there is, let me just kind of give it a quick stir. Oh man, it's, I took it out of the Instant Pot just to bring it over here. It's not actually, let me show you. I wish we have it on
Okay,
the
okay.
camera, but I don't have it right now. So there
I
is,
see what you're saying. So if that's if you think it's going to be too thin for you, what I would do is put it on high saute and let some of the water evaporate off, steam off. If you think it's okay, you could do that before or after blending it too.
okay.
Some people like it like I've gotten it, especially like if you go to a kosher dairy restaurant, their split pea, or at least the one I used to go to in New York, was quite thin, and I like it like wallpaper paste.
Okay.
So
I like it thin. She likes stuff thick.
and that's what you're going to see with all of those.
Okay, well, I think what I'll do is I will go ahead and blend it the way it is and go from there. But you say in the recipe here that we're supposed to add, and I have California balsamic, a balsamic to it. And so let me look at my instructions here. And so you say a tablespoon or add some drizzle, and that is to what? Put in after it's smooth or now?
You could do
add
it either way. You
Okay.
could do it either way, or you could even leave it out and just decorate the bowls with it. But it really brings out a much bolder flavor. And this is going to be with almost all of your autumnal soups. And I kind of consider this one anything with winter squash, sweet potatoes, baked potatoes, split peas, lentils. Almost all, like obviously if you're making a curried lentil soup, maybe balsamic is not for that one.
I see. So it's really based on the flavor profile that you're going for.
Right. And as long as it's not
I like
Mexican
it
or you like it on everything. Well, with Mexican,
No,
then
like,
you'd want a squeeze of lime or lemon. If we were going Indian, that could be another.
like squash soup, like pumpkin soup or something. Always has to have that. You have to have that on there.
All right, I'm going to go and whip this up a little bit.
It's always the most fun. But and that's another thing just to realize, it's whatever you want it to be. Oh, long game. Aw, you guys are awesome. Long game said something else. We made a double batch of the onion soup mix and the ranch mix. And don't forget, I made little lentil quinoa loaves over on Kathy Hester Vegan Recipes YouTube channel if you want to go watch that. The ranch mix is awesome. You can either put it in yogurt and make a ranch dressing, or you can coat things with it. So you can put it on like baked potatoes or mix it in baked potatoes is really good.
Okay, I left it a little bit chunky because I kind of like it that way.
Nice.
And so I'm going to go
ahead. That looks great.
I'm going to put it in a bowl. Let's see if we can do this.
And that looks thick enough, right?
Yeah.
And that's sometimes it's hard to tell. But what I want everyone to realize, if it cooks and it looks too thick, just add broth, just take a deep breath. It's not ruined. Same thing if you open it up and there's like so much liquid, you can cook it down. It's not gone. Don't throw it away. There's so many people, well, did this and I threw it away, or like my beans overcooked, they were mush. And I'm like, no, let's make refried beans with that. Let's make a soup with that. There's so many things we can make with overcooked smushy beans.
Oh my gosh, this looks and smells really good. I am a huge split pea person. I've never had split pea with apple in it. So this is going to be really fun. And I am going to take your advice. And I have this little thing that my son gave me. I better use it. It's like this little, here it is. And it makes the drizzle oh so perfect.
Ooh, fancy.
So if he watches, then he'll know I use it. And
there you go.
Oh, that is
wow. And look how pretty.
There we go, you guys.
Oh, right.
Nice.
Are you going to come and taste with me?
Split pea soup is not the prettiest, but it is the most comforting and warming soup. And Apple was saying you could slice my split pea soup and serve it in chunks. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're going to try it. It's a sweeter one than we're used to, and it is hot. So please don't burn the roof of your mouth or anything.
It'll be okay.
Ready?
Go.
Yeah. Cheers.
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 Oh, it's hot.
And Apple says almost everything is better with Apple. Just saying.
Yes. Oh, isn't that true? What do you think? It's a sweet version. I like it. I love
Oh,
it.
it's so good.
It's a little bit different because it does have that apple little lift. So depending on what kind of balsamic, if you use one that's like really reduced, like California isn't as reduced as some of like the 10 or 15-year-old ones, you might just want to put a little less. Oh, one anti-venom is there. Yay, it is showing up the counts. And when I make winter squash soup, a lot of times I will cook it with pear or apple just to give it that lovely, interesting flavor.
I love the idea of a pear when you either don't have an apple or, you want to add something else. Although I agree, everything tastes better with apple, right? And so, yeah, these are great. Everything that I've tried, I don't have anything that I would change about these things that we did. I mean, simple, delicious. I love that you can store it and it's shelf stable and there isn't kinds of stuff you can't pronounce in it,
Right.
The only problem, Kathy, is now I don't know if I'm having tacos or soup for dinner.
You're having both.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't have to choose.
I like it.
Pretend you're on vacation. You ordered an appetizer and an entree.
I like it.
See?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love that too. Well, I do want to know if you have a few more minutes. I'd love to ask a couple of questions. What made you decide to make a book on potions and powders? I mean, it's such a unique idea.
Well, I'm kind of a witchy kitchen witch kind of gal anyhow. So, and I love Halloween, and I'm kind of deciding that maybe this is my style of book going forward. So that's one thing. And I feel like making these, and even when you're making the recipes, not even making them up, you are definitely creating something in your home. And you're creating these intentions and following through with them. So like you're obviously trying to eat healthy. And now not only are you eating healthy, you're eating something really delicious and fun that maybe you used to think you could only get out somewhere when you're not doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So there's that. And the very first book I did, I realized I was using Better Than Bullion like everybody else in the world at that point. And I realized with the tiny advance I had from the publishing company, I was going to spend it all on Better Than Bullion. So I better come up with something. And I came up with really cheap bullion I can freeze.
That was the absolute first second recipe that she created after she had to go to Whole Foods for like the third time that week.
Yeah. And so and I think that there's a lot of things going on. We're stressed. There's a lot of stressy things happening out in the world. Money is becoming tighter for a lot of people, and people are trying to eat well while all of this is going on. So, and sometimes in like the disability community, they are even the neurodivergent community, they will talk about teaspoons. Like, how much energy do you have? Today I have 2 teaspoons. How do I want to spend it? And if you're having a tablespoon day, you can make yourself 4 or 5 soups. And then when you don't have any teaspoons left, you can pour that into the slow cooker with water and go take a nap and rest. Right? And I think that's what's kind of nice is like even the making of the mixes and things aren't a huge process.
Yeah.
Right? So you could make a couple of bouillons, a couple of soups, maybe the cornbread mix, maybe the cookie mix. I have a gluten-free cookie mix, and then you can make one cookie in the microwave or in your little oven. Just make a little cookie, because that's what you can do. And I just want us all, like my greatest hope is that we all can eat delicious food, take good care of ourselves, and get through these hard times, whatever they are for you, and just really flourish.
That is
That's really it.
that's awesome. Oh, I feel a lot of gratitude, and I really thank you for all of that you've done, all the work you've put into it to make it easy and affordable and fun for people. I know I'm already enjoying it, and I will. Maybe 2 more questions, if that's okay.
Oh, of course, as many questions as you want. I am yours till you're done with me.
Okay. Before I get into that, I just want to say that Ross Chef Yin says good morning from Malaysia. Welcome, Ross Chef Yin. Good to see you.
And she actually has a recipe in the book for Asian barbecue sauce that has a sesame base that's really delicious.
I saw that. I have yet to try it, but yum, yum, yum. And she does amazing stuff too. I've enjoyed some of her recipes in past bundles. Okay, your book is so comprehensive. It has so many different recipes in it, like we've talked about. So if somebody gets it, where does somebody begin in the book? And before I let you answer that, I just want to also say that I love the clickable links, because when you're in the beginning there where everything is listed, you can click on it. It brings you right to that page, even though it's a huge book. But if somebody was like, oh my gosh, there's so many fun things, is there one place that somebody should begin in the book?
It kind of depends on where you are in kind of your cooking journey. So if you're just really trying to do things on your own, you might want to even look at how to make oat milk. Maybe make your own, make some oat milk, because it's cheap. You don't have to go to the store. So even if you don't want to make all your milk all the time, being able to throw some rolled oats into your blender and come out with something to cook for dinner is really helpful. The other thing is, I would say at least make the chickeny bouillon powder and probably the frozen bouillon, and just make maybe a double, triple batch, because that's going to get you through winter. So even if you're like, I don't want to make those soups right now in the jars, and you're just like, what can I do? You could take, one of my favorite things to do actually is to take the California mix, which is like broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots. Steam it. Let's say it's a really hard day. Steam it in the microwave. Or you can cook it in your Instant Pot. There's no wrong way to do it. But when we're feeling lazy, I'll be like, just do this. You can blend it up in your blender with some non-dairy milk or some vegan yogurt or some okara to make it thick. Use some of the chicken bouillon-y powder. And then you could even take one spice blend. Like if you're like, I really love Indian food, but that's a lot of spices, I have a garam masala, which is just like a basic home blend that it's different for every Indian family. So you can figure out what you want to tweak on it. And then you could just put some of that in, and there you go. Or you could cook up some lentils, put some of that in, maybe put a little of the chickeny bouillon in there. And just that alone will really take it a little bit further. So I think maybe 1 or 2 of your favorite spice blends. If you're doing holiday presents, I think look at the spice blends. If you're doing the powders, look at the chili powder or even lemon powder, or making cocoa mixes, something like that. I have an instant Thai green tea mix that I put in there with date sugar, but you could use vegan sugar too. I use green tea, some matcha. It uses some pandan leaves. It's really delightful, and it makes great presents. Some people got that last year.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That is so awesome. We have a question in the chat. The question is, I wonder if the fudge recipe would make a nice freezer bark.
I am not sure.
Mm.
One anti-venom, if you try it, let me know. Because you could, so the fudge mix is literally a dry mix. And so you put some water or non-dairy milk. I tend towards non-dairy milk if I have it, because it just makes it a little richer. You put it in the microwave for about a minute. You're still whisking it like most of the dry mixes. And you could get it a little bit closer to the muffiny texture, the little thicker texture, spread it out on some parchment paper and try. It could go wrong. I have
What if
no
you put it
idea.
in like one of those silicone, like one of the bottom of one of
It's,
those silicone molds, so you can pop.
I
it
don't
out.
know that it's going to set up.
Mhm.
I'm just not sure. But I think if you did really thin, it would have a chance. It would be worth trying. I would try that. And if it sets up really fast, then I would consider. But you can also just heat up chocolate chips. And you can, I think, get some that are date sweetened. I don't know if you can get some without any oil in them. I know you guys have been asking me for a chocolate chip recipe, and I found a chocolate chip mold, silicone mold.
So
But
that's gonna happen at some point.
it'll happen at some point. But I'm just,
That's great.
yeah.
I tend to get the date sweetened chocolate chips when I can find them. I can't always find them. And so I was just thinking about that, but I love your idea of being able to come up with one and finding a mold. That's exciting, because I never even thought of looking
They're
for a
teeny
mold.
tiny. Like
Teeny
there's
tiny,
like,
right?
you can get this big thing, and then you like pour the stuff, and you take a scraper and scrape into them.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
Does it? I am unsure. Now, maybe like one of my favorite things in the whole world, and this is so silly, is like if you take an unsweetened chocolate bar and you use a knife and you're cutting it, that exact sensation is just something that's perfect.
Oh, you love
So
that.
maybe I would feel the same way after I do it.
Yeah, the idea of, pushing it around and playing with the melted, I just gets me excited. So I'll have to wait until you come out with something to try. Chocolate's always amazing. And it's so wonderful that we can have chocolate that doesn't have to, have any kind of dairy or anything that would be harmful to us. Okay, so I do have a question. You have a ramen soup mix that caught my attention, and it's on page 40 of your new ebook. So I saw that one of the ingredients it calls for is soy curl crumbles. I'm wondering, is that different than soy curls, or do you use the curls to make crumbles? What are soy curl crumbles?
Awesome. It's the debris at the bottom of the soy curl bag that you don't want to throw away. And so you save in a little jar till you have enough to make ramen. Or if you're not that OCD as I am, you could literally, in a small food processor, you could just pulse some.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I have to share behind the camera there, Todd. When I was talking to him about this, like, what do you think? He said that. He said, it's the crumbles at the bottom. So when he said that, he's going,
If you get the, I forget if it's 10 or 20 pounds, you can get a big box
oh,
from them. And so when you do that, you need to put them in the freezer too, because you're going to eat on them for quite some time. And so I have a lot of people in Kathy's Cooking Club that get it. I think Marilyn's one of them too. So she takes the really big pieces, she actually organizes them and freezes them in that. So then there's the crumbles at the bottom that people use for like tacos or like ramen or things like that. So
They make really good taco meat.
I love soy curls. I hadn't been making them that much this year, but and we had guests house sitters staying while we were traveling. So I keep the house like an iceberg. Like she has to fight me to have the heat on. I'm like, how many layers don't come out here in shorts and a short sleeve shirt and ask me to turn the heat up. We got to start somewhere. But and like Cheryl's mom's like, well, it's really cold in here. We've got it at 76. And I'm like, I'm melting.
oh,
So so because normal people don't have it at 70 and 68 all summer long. So they actually went bad. Mine usually lasts longer than everybody else's.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, good tip to know. Apple369 says, I use my chocolate chip mold often to freeze 1 teaspoon serving sizes of condiments.
Oh, you
that's really smart.
that is awesome. Yeah,
Oh.
Apple's the one who told me to go looking for the mold.
Always has such good advice
Aw.
and ideas. Yes. And condiments from Kathy's book. I want to follow up with that. So, yeah.
And Kathy Bartles is saying for chocolate chips, I use 100% unsweetened organic chocolate wafers from TCHO. They have, and I think that's how you, I don't think it's a word, so forgive me if it is. And that's a really good chocolate. Yeah, chop them in a nut chopper. Try using that big knife. It's this, I don't know what it is. It's just whatever it is soothes my brain. It just goes through exactly right. We used to have to chop it up to melt it at a bakery I worked at a long time ago. And yeah. And then making chips.
That would be fun. I mean, all these things are fun to me. I don't know. I get excited about simple pleasures.
Oh, I'm the easily amused person. I am
really
a very easily amused person.
She really is.
Well, I wonder, are there any other last minute questions anyone has, or any other things that we haven't touched on that you'd like to share, other than, if you haven't already, go check out Kathy's brand new ebook, The Potions and Powders, and you can use our link there and just enjoy it. It's filled with so much stuff like we've been talking about this whole time. So anything that you want to share?
Well, I guess I would say I could have broken this down into 3 or 4 different books, but I really wanted it to feel complete in what it is. I know that I will still make more things like this, but I wanted to have I didn't want to just have dry mixes, just have sauces, just have sweet stuff. I wanted to have a little bit of everything. So by getting, it's a little big, don't let it intimidate you. Like literally, as soon as you start making one thing, you'll start making the next thing. And that way, like I was looking at Worcestershire sauce, vegan Worcestershire sauce, and I was like, $8. So you might have to get something like tamarind. And I'm trying to remember, because you were saying tamarind made you nervous. I don't think I had one somewhere. Is it here? No. So I go to the Indian market. So like some of this stuff you can get really inexpensively at Asian, Indian, and Asian markets if you have one near you. So tamarind, there's a little thing. It looks like a little pack, has a little spout, shelf stable till you use it, and then it lasts for quite a while.
So that isn't the one that looks like turmeric in the fresh. Is there a fresh?
You mean the long brown one? It is a pod, but I would just use the tamarind paste.
The paste. Okay, the paste.
Because if not, you have to make the paste from the thing.
Oh, yeah. And
I know that's asking too much.
Yeah, and we talked about earlier that you got to pick and choose, right? You know, your battles or your time. Like, is your time worth it? And sometimes it's nice to have these little things already ready to go. So I just want to say to Kathy and Cheryl, I mean, this was really fun for me, very amazing. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your time and your heart, because I know that's what went into this, and your incredible knowledge with us today. You gave us so many wonderful tips, and also just sharing not to be intimidated and, you know, just trying to help people. I always learn something new from you, and I know everyone watching, I'm sure, did as well. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having us on again. It's super fun to hang out with you and cook and do things. And if you have other questions, just don't hesitate to reach out. That goes for you, Jennifer, and everybody watching.
Oh, I appreciate that. You're such a blessing. And so again, if you are looking for the link, you want to go ahead and purchase this, you can find the link in the show notes after this comes to the live is off. And you can also find in there that recipe for the vegan what was it? I'll tell you right now because I need
Vegan chicken bouillon.
vegan chicken bouillon. Yes. Okay. And so you'll be able to get lots of fun things. And to all of you that are watching, I thank you so much for joining us today. I really hope that you're leaving inspired and not overwhelmed, but inspired to try something new, have fun in your kitchen, maybe do a dance like I do, and just keep discovering how powerful and delicious plant-based living can be. And so if you enjoyed today's live, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss any of the amazing guests or recipes that we have coming up. And so until next time, don't forget to eat your greens. And as I always say, give plants a chance. They won't let you down. Take care, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.